What is going on, Ive Warriors? It's your boy Edward V, and today we're going to talk about 4 things that might make you quit intermittent fasting. Now, these are things that when you start intermittent fasting, they're actual roadblocks to people getting over the hump to get into the intermittent fasting flow. And I'm going to go ahead and break that down for you in this video. Stay tuned. Alright guys, quickly before we start, this video is brought to you by yours truly, Fledge Fitness and the Fledge Fitness Jump Rope. If you haven't gotten yours yet, what are you waiting for? With an ergonomic design, aluminum handle, and swivel design, you can't go wrong with the Fledge Fitness Jump Rope. You can click on the top right hand corner of this video or down in the description box below. And of course, as always guys, thank you so much for your support. I truly appreciate it. Now, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. All right, please excuse the faint sound of music if you do hear it. I'm not sure, but my neighbors are blasting music, so I apologize. But now let's go ahead and talk about the 4 things that may actually make you quit intermittent fasting. Number 1, the fast initial weight loss. Now, you might be saying to yourself, wait a second here, Edward. There's no way that fast weight loss is going to make me quit. If anything, the fast weight loss is going to make me stay with intermittent fast. It's going to make me actually keep on going. But that is if you take it in context of the days past and weeks past that initial fast weight loss, because a lot of people get the initial weight loss and then they see that the initial weight loss was so fast, they start to calculate that all of the other ones will be as fast, and then they realize that it's not as fast as their initial first week or so. But why is that the case? Well, this is one of the reasons why I advocate not using the scale, because it can mislead you in any direction, either in a negative direction that nothing is happening, or a positive direction that something that isn't really happening is happening. And in this case, when you do intermittent fasting, one of the major things that get flushed out is glycogen and water. And glycogen gets flushed out because you are fasting, which means that you're removing that energy source that your body uses and providing your body with a different energy source, which is ketone bodies that comes from fatty acids. And if you didn't know, the thing that fluctuates that scale more than anything is glycogen and water weight. So you actually will see a massive weight drop in the beginning, in the first week or so. You're going to see that. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you just drop 6 pounds of body fat, or that you just dropped 5 pounds of body fat. You probably dropped 5 pounds of a mixture between water and glycogen. So that would also mean that the subsequent weeks after your body has kind of stabilized in its water and glycogen deposits, that you will start to see less differences in terms of the weight loss, because it does take a little bit more time for you to actually start losing pounds of body fat. So I hope that with this understanding, when you experience that, it doesn't deter you from continuing to lose weight. If you ever watch my transformation video, literally the first video ever on this channel about 7 years ago, you'll see that I put all of the numbers of my weight loss at the bottom of the screen or the top. I don't remember, the video is so old. But if you look at it, you will see that there was this massive weight drop, and then there were subsequent slower weight drops. But you can see a big difference in my overall body composition from the beginning to the end. And it was just 28 days of weight loss using intermittent fasting. All right, and now number 2 is the initial hunger. So many people are going to say, hey, I'm going into this intermittent fasting thing. I'm going to do it. But that initial hunger is almost like a punch in the face to a lot of people out there. You're initially going to have to go off of the understanding and the curiosity and the willpower in that first 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, because of the fact that you have been conditioned and you have a biological habit to eat in certain time periods. If you're consistently skipping those time periods, ghrelin is going to go absolutely berserk. It's going to go shooting up, telling you, what are you doing? You're hungry, eat something, eat something, eat something. And you're going to be ignoring those calls to eat something, and at first it might feel a little unbearable, but after a week it starts to calm down, and after 2 weeks is really calming down and gets to the point where your body has accepted this new kind of flow, this new rhythm, and would only truly start to get hungry during the times when you're going to break your fast. It actually starts to time itself and know exactly when you're going to break your fast, which is why if you've been doing intermittent fasting for about a month or so, you'll realize that you only start to kind of feel hungry during the times when you're breaking your fast. And then right after you finish breaking your fast, you're not hungry until you break your fast again. It's a phenomenal thing, but it's the body creating its own biological flow and rhythm, breaking off of the flow and rhythm that you had previously before you started doing intermittent fasting. But you'll be surprised, a lot of people can't make it over that 2.5-week hump, and they end up quitting intermittent fasting prematurely. The third thing that can make you quit intermittent fasting prematurely is social pressure. Because if you don't eat during the times when other people are eating, you can cut the tension with a knife. It becomes very socially awkward. People start to say, are you just not eating anything at all? People start to misconstrue what you're doing and not understand that you're probably still getting the same or probably a little bit less calories than they are. You're just containing it into a smaller window. That goes over so many people's heads. If you don't eat, some people, some cultures feel like you're being disrespectful. So you gotta keep that in mind. And I would definitely suggest you kind of strategically set your eating window for times where you will most likely be eating with the family, or do it where it's more comfortable for you and just screw it. Don't even care about what they say. Either or works, but you'll be surprised how much social pressure keeps people from sticking to these intermittent fasting protocols. Not to mention friends and family that want to go out, eat, and feel that you might be too annoying for them in the fact that you won't be eating when they are. So just keep that in mind. Whatever works best for you. Making sure that you strategically eat when you're more likely going to eat with friends and family, or just whatever is more convenient for you, and you'll hang out with them on exception days, not consistently. And let's go on to number 4, the final one. Feeling like you've eaten too much and then letting this actually drive you crazy psychologically. A lot of people actually do intermittent fasting, and because they're eating so much in a single sitting, they tell themselves, or they kind of psych themselves out, that they've eaten too much. They might feel full. They might feel like this is too much food. Why am I eating this much? And then they immediately do something that makes no sense. They'll go and check their weight on the scale. They'll look at their body and see that they're bloated and think that they just packed on a bunch of body fat, because look at the scale and look at the mirror. But in reality, you have not. It's still based on the energy balance. It doesn't matter if you ate those 2,500 calories or 3,000 calories throughout the day, or in a single sitting, or within just 2 meals in a short time period. It's still just 2,500 or 3,000 calories. So you can still be at a caloric deficit when it's all said and done. And remember, you go from periods of anabolism and catabolism. There are periods of when you are full of energy and periods when you're not. But in a 24-hour period, if you have not given your body enough, that would mean that you were burning all of those calories before you ate. You ate, you gave it a lot of calories, you burned all of those calories after, but when the day ended, you were at a net negative energy balance, which means you didn't have enough energy for your body to store, and you were below that, which means that your body actually had to expend energy to power the energy that you needed for the day. And like the other ones, this surprisingly makes people stop. It distorts reality to make them believe that something is wrong. Why is the scale so high with just one meal? And why do I look like this in the mirror? So please understand that does not mean that you gain weight. That simply means that you have food in your stomach that's causing weight on the scale to be shifted, that you probably increased your glycogen from that meal, and that you might be a little bit bloated from the meal as well. Hopefully this video has helped you guys, because I do know that a lot of people come to me and say, hey, this might not work for me because I've been 3 days in and I'm starving and I'm dying of hunger. Or people come to me and say, wow, I don't know if I can keep doing this. I lost so much weight in the beginning, first week or so, but now I'm on my 3rd week and the weight loss just keeps slowing down. So hopefully this video helps you understand what those things mean scientifically and what you can expect from it moving forward. And as always, I want to thank my patrons for my Patreon, and I'm going to go ahead and put their names right up here. And as always, guys, I'll see you on Wednesday for another FAQ. Peace!